both live at home right now, with myself and my husband and my dad part-time. And I'm a realtor, kind of like a part-time realtor. I'm also a homeschool parent, so I homeschool my daughter. And I do special ed advocacy on the side. What else do you want to know? I'm open, ask me anything.
Sure. So I know you were interested in serving on something that basically had to, I know you noted the scheduling issue about Thursday nights, but.
Anything other than Thursday, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So have you ever had a chance to watch any of the finance committee meetings or attend or watch town meeting at all? Or
went to the last town meeting and you guys inspired me.
Okay, awesome. So we can talk a little bit about what it's like to be on finance, and we actually all kind of came into it from different paths too, which so there's no kind of one route to joining the committee at all, but essentially we act in an advisory capacity to the town. So you saw at town meeting, right, when we discussed different articles, the finance committee issued recommendations or did not issue recommendations, and ultimately it's still up to the members of town meeting to actually vote on things. Right. So we meet the second and fourth Monday of the month, generally. We do meet more frequently as we get into budget season. So in the winter, as we get into sort of December, January, February, March, basically leading into town meeting, the meetings might be more frequent, up to every Monday night. They're always from 7 p.m. onward. Usually they're about hour and a half when we're not dealing with budget issues. So when we're dealing with basically going line by line to the town budget, that's when the meetings might get a little bit longer.
Understandably.
And anyone else want to sort of chip in about their experiences? Like I said, everyone's kind of come to it from a different path, so folks have a different kind of
that would be interesting to hear.
take on it.
I came from Wage and Personnel, which I'm the liaison for Wage and Personnel, but I was a member, left Wage and Personnel to come to Finance, and still a liaison for Wage and Personnel. Which I noticed you did check on your calendar.
I'm here to serve.
No, I'm not here to steal. I'm not here to steal.
Mine, I probably sort of most like you. I came right onto the finance committee. My background is in public opinion or political science, and I do public opinion research and public administration research.
Interesting.
So I came through the capital planning committee. My degrees are in finance and operations management, and I work in operations now for Johnson & Johnson. So had some relevant experience. I thought it was a good way to connect with the town.
Yeah.
I'm the most junior member. I'm a financial analyst by trade. Started on the capital planning committee just last budget season, and we're obviously at a minimum number of folks here, so I'm glad to be a part of it, but was interested in that. Got to see a bit of the tail end of last year's budgetary season, so I'm excited to actually do it for the first time myself.
Great.
And it's important to know too that no one needs to have, we're lucky to have folks with financial backgrounds and we all have different educational backgrounds and different occupational backgrounds too. So that's, I think, an important thing to note, that you sort of, at least my experience is the learning curve is sort of really quick and you get up to speed, and everyone that we work with is really awesome about making sure that we do things correct, in the right way, procedurally.
That's great.
There's a lot of development opportunities, a lot of educational opportunities that the state offers. So I know we've been to a statewide training. There's always sort of continuing education opportunities if you do find that this is something that you want to continue doing and getting more and more training on it. But there's also a lot of those resources available online. If you just want to, I know a lot of those videos I found really, really helpful when I was first getting started. We're happy to send you links and things like that.
Yeah, that would be great.
So do you have any questions for us about either sort of what we do, what the work on the committee is like? One other thing I should mention is that not usually for the first year, because I know for my first year we didn't really, but we do appoint liaisonships to each member of the finance committee, and that person interacts with the department heads to which they're assigned, not to act as a representative for them or an advocate for them, but rather as an intermediary between the department and FinCom to explain if there's changes in the budget proposal, where do those come from, maybe call those department heads in so that we can chat with them. So it really doesn't, it's not that you have to defend that budget or that you have to critique that budget, but rather you're the one that's there to sort of help explain. You're having conversations with those department heads and sort of filling in some of the gaps that might occur during meetings.
Right.
But we generally don't really appoint people to liaisonships until they get a little bit more experience and feel a little bit more comfortable with it.
Right.
So any questions for us, or did I cut you off?
Not really. I guess one question I do have, you can serve on more than one committee, right?
If you serve on the
Is it-
finance committee, this is the only committee that you can serve.
Oh, glad I asked that question.
What other ones are you interested in?
The zoning board.
Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
could only serve on the finance
Hmm.
committee. But
Okay.
the zoning boards, I don't believe has any openings.
Oh,
There's only
well,
like
they
maybe a junior.
invited me in.
Because they're probably looking for an associate member.
Oh, yes.
So that would not be a permanent member, but that,
Right.
it's a great way of learning the process.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
You know, I think that it's a, if you, like, where you're a realtor, I mean, I think that's a really great thing for you
Right.
to know. But
Yeah.
I think if you want to find a way to learn them, and I don't want to take over your meeting,
We're chatting.
to learn really how the town, like, I think you're really interested in how things work. And, you know, to
Very
really get-
intuitive there.
Right, so if you want to look at, you know, from the top looking, the finance
Yeah.
committee really, that and wage and personnel, I think, are two positions that you learn the most about what departments do what. And
Okay.
on the finance committee, you really learn about the funding and, you know, what people have in their budgets. And as Melinda had alluded to, you do have liaisons, and she was totally correct that it's not up to you to defend that budget, but
Right.
it is up to you to vet the budget before it even gets this appointment in front of this board. So for instance, I would say the one that takes the most time is the school budget. So the liaison bill, no. Only because we haven't decided yet.
Feelings.
But I think so that person, I served on the finance committee for 8 years, so
Okay.
I've been there, so
Okay.
that's how I know. That particular person would go to as many school committee meetings as you can.
Okay.
And they would sort of just kind of like watch the process. And it's not just during budget season, it's really all year round, because then you know when frameworks change and there's new books being ordered, or you hear about certain equipment that broke, so then you're kind of aware of it. Same with if you like meet with, if your liaisons, for instance, are like the building committee, or some of the department heads that are in the town hall, you would meet with them to kind of go through their budget at first so you understand what each line represents.
Right.
And then you have a great grasp on their budget. Again, not to defend it, because
Right.
you know, there may be some discussions that if you saw that somebody, you know, wanted something that was really extraordinary, like in their budget that was something new, and you didn't feel that it would, you know, you could let them know, I don't think this is gonna fly, you can try. You know?
Yeah.
But eventually it will get to this board and then it will discuss, and you can stay quiet and then just sort of offer, well, I did talk about this, these are the questions I asked, and these are the answers. So
Okay.
it's really, I think it's worked, and I know that we don't typically give somebody liaisons in the first year, but I think given, you know, the amount of people that we have on the board, and you're coming at a perfect time, because, you know, you'll have a couple of months under your belt to kind of get the sense. And what Melinda talked about is it's called the Association of Town Finance Committees, and you can find the link on the MMA website, and they're having their annual meeting on November 3rd, it's a Saturday. They do a workshop that's for new finance committee members, and I don't know if you're interested, if you can get away for a Saturday, but
Yeah, is that November 3rd? Yeah.
but I think that you've been on, like, you served on capital planning, so you kind of get the lingo, what's free cash, you know, what's all those kinds of things. And that particular workshop will kind of walk through it. That's a really great organization where you'll
Okay.
find, you know, there's a handbook, there's a town finance committee handbook.
Okay.
So that's a really great resource. And as Melinda said, we're all here to support you to whatever information or answering questions, or, you know, we have the historical data of things. But we are so thrilled that you want to step up and help. And I don't want to talk you out of zoning, but I can tell you that if there's a reason, if you want to be able to help.
These are my top two, so.
Yeah, if you want to be able to really help us at this point, the
Yeah.
real need right now is on finance, because
Right.
we have a committee of 7, and it takes 4 people to have quorum. So
Oh, wow.
if one of these people can't be here, then it kind of just stops everything from happening. So
Yeah.
again, you can come on, we don't chain you to the desk. If it's
Yeah.
not something that you feel comfortable with, we'll find you at your house and drive you here. We won't chain you, but we'll find you, which is how we got Lenny.
Pretty much.
No, we don't.
My train gets in at 6:45, so I'll meet you at the end of the lot.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
No, but this is the, like, you know, it's ideal to have people sort of learn through capital planning with the budgeting processes without, like, you know, being thrown in the water 100%. But again, because we don't have as many people being able to volunteer, this is the idea. And again, as Brenda said, you'll do great because it's a pretty easy thing to learn. Most of it is just common sense. If you run your own budget, you'll be able to contribute toward this. You know, and the thing that we keep in mind is we represent the average taxpayer. So you may not personally think, but when you're in that chair, you have to think as the average taxpayer,
Right. Yeah.
and what they would want, and because it's the taxpayer that really makes the decision. So we advise. So you're going to spend the whole year kind of planning, and it's beautiful. And it's not at times.
I can see about
If
that.
you were in the
last one. Wow.
No. But that's like, we like to get people involved because, you know, we're challenged, which makes us better. Like, we think it makes us
Absolutely.
better. You know, so we research, like, you know, everything to the, you know, exhaustion, right? And then it's good. It's a really great debate. So don't think it's always like that. It's not. And then if it is, it is. But we walk out of there not taking anything personally because it's really, at the end of the day, it's the vote of the people.
Right.
And we may feel like this is the best thing, but, you know, it is what it is.
Right.
So, but it's a really, you'll get to know a lot of people and you'll get to know how the town runs. And it's really, it's an awesome thing. Yeah.
Going off what Kim said too, we don't even always all agree on this committee.
Yeah, I know.
Which is totally fine. And we all still
Yeah.
talk to each other and we're all still
Yeah.
fine and we're all still
Yeah.
neighbors at the end of the day. But I think that's actually really healthy. We're not just all nodding at each other all the time.
Yeah.
And it's because we
Right.
come from all kind of different backgrounds and places that we all point out things that the other one might not see. So I think it's also, and as you can see if you watch any of the meetings, that we're always, you know, asking each other questions and jumping in over each other because we want to get as much information as we can. And that might mean at the end of the day that I disagree with Bill. We keep picking on Bill today.
Because he has a kid. He's baby.
Yeah, we can't pick on. But you know, ultimately we all still respect each other, and it's and the reason we all want the same end goal, right? Which is to provide for the community and to ensure a healthy and safe and happy community. And we just may see different ways of getting there, but that's fine. And ultimately, like Kim said, it's up to the voters to decide that. So
Takes the pressure off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But we like debate.
So we
I
have,
like debate.
so you have 3 seats open. Do all 3 of them?
Oh,
Yeah. So all 3 of them, when do their terms end? Does anyone know, top of your head?
I think they're pretty staggered, right?
Yeah.
But we would probably,
Charlie,
Charlie, do you have that?
No, I don't have it.
We don't have that off the top of our
But we
heads.
would leave, but probably would go for the longest term.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then hopefully we'll have more people that are interested, because again, we're going into budget season, you travel and, you know, kids get sick and, you know, life happens. And so, you know, I think it's hard when we can't meet, because during the budget time is really when you're crunching numbers and meeting with department heads. And if you're, you know, like we had one year that we had a lot of people traveling and we had bad weather. And so what ended up happening is most of the work had to be done so quickly. Not that it was rushed for whatever, but you really want to be able to take that time to be thoughtful and to be able to really research to exhaustion. Yeah. All right.
So do you have any other questions for us about?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Do you think you could dedicate the time on Monday?
Oh, yeah.
And do you think that you could dedicate the time to be a liaison to
Yeah,
a department?
definitely, definitely.
And honestly, like, whoever the newest person doesn't get them, you know, like school, we can go to a new person just because it's seasoned.
Yeah.
Seasoned.
Yeah, I think the ones I had for my first year were all pretty like on the smaller side of budgets, and it's just basically one. It can be an in-person meeting or a phone call with the department head, just kind of asking questions, and it really,
That doesn't scare me.
Yeah.
I also did human services before this before I became a realtor. It's like social work, you know.
Yeah.
And as I said, special ed advocacy, which is, it's all communications.
Yeah.
It's, so is real estate.
Yeah.
And homeschooling,
Yeah.
communications.
Yeah, let's start there.
I couldn't do it.
I love my
Hmm?
I
kids.
couldn't do it.
I
Oh,
love
it's so much easier than dealing with the school,
Yeah.
to be
I
honest.
don't know.
Yeah. Yep. I did that for 13 years, and yes, no,
Yeah.
I like this much more.
Awesome.
So if you think of anything in the, I don't know if you want some time to think, 'cause I know you are deciding between.
I think Kim pretty much convinced me. It's
I'll pick you up next Friday.
Yeah, I did carpool, Kim. You get another pickup.
I'm
Awesome.
a bus.
and the schedule works for me. That's another thing.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Mondays are good.
So you're also registered to vote, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So the next step, if you are on board, that you guys would vote to send the
Recommendation.
application to the Board of Selectmen.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then we can schedule her at our next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll have her in and sworn in at next finance.
So I'll entertain a motion to recommend the appointment of Adrian McDougal to the Finance Committee for the longest open term available. We'll check that out before the Board of Selectmen
It
meeting.
will be June 15th, 2021.
Excellent.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're
Really
really excited to work with you. If you have any questions in the interim, don't hesitate.
Okay.
You have my email address. Don't
Yes.
hesitate to shoot me an email.
Okay.
And I'm happy to go to the Board of Selectmen. I don't know if more than one of us has to be there, but
I think just one.
Yeah,
I think it's just one.
it depends on whether it's a mid-year or a,
Well, they all are really, Charlie. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, that other one maybe. All right.
I'll find out.
You want to get the cell phone?
We'll let you know, but
Text too?
it's, yeah, we'll let you know.
Well, we'll meet with you on October 8th. We just
Yes.
need to get-
I have
October
contact
8th.
information.
No,
What?
October 9th.
Yeah.
October 9th, but we don't have a time
Should
yet.
get the cell.
All right, we'll work out.
Adrian,
So,
is this yourself? Is this the best way to get a hold of you? Is this your home phone or your cell phone?
It's yes, my cell phone.
Okay, great.
If you want to just.
It's on October. Something's on October 9th.
Oh.
Oh, what
okay.
time is your?
Well, Charlie's
Well,
gonna
we start
let
at
us know, sometimes
7:30.
it's later. Like, it could be at like 8:15,
That would be.
would that be better? So
Yeah.
let's Charlie take a peek. I think we
Okay.
have, I think we have something anyway in the
Okay.
beginning, so that we can
Okay.
push
We're
you.
almost
Great.
ready for you.
All right.
Yeah, we'll push you.
I might come with. I'll tell you later.
Yeah. And you know what, honestly, like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's good on here, it's nice for you to meet the other two
Mhm.
selectmen as well, but,
Mhm.
I mean, if it's a difference of, I'm sure they would support it without you being there. I could talk
Oh.
about our meeting. and-
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So let
Good.
Charlie figure out what the time, because ideally,
Okay.
it would be great if you could come, I mean, we're on camera now. But,
And
right?
Okay.
Lenny loves the camera.
Adrian, in the meantime, I'll send you a couple links. The Massachusetts Department of Revenue Services has some really great training videos. I'll send you
Okay.
the website, and then you can feel free at your own time to look at them. I think they're really
Okay.
helpful.
Great.
So 8
Perfect.
o'clock.
Huh?
8 o'clock work, or you want it later?
Later. The later, the better.
Okay.
I'm not really sure how long the event I'm going
So
to is
we,
supposed to
so we
last,
get,
so.
we may have a lot of discussion,
Mhm.
and we may get some reports from the assessment that's on the 6th, so that might take some,
That's true,
that may take some discussion time.
if they're ready.
Yeah, and
Why
then
would-
we,
So why we say 8:30 then?
yeah,
Yeah, I should be out of there by 8 at the latest.
Okay.
I think so.
okay, so let's say 8:30, and then if we have to, take a recess, we can work on our song.
That's October 9th. Of course, it has to be that day. I mean.
And do we know how many of? Do we need? We don't need quorum to be there. I'm happy
Charlie
to
will
come.
send you an email, because
Okay.
he's trying to figure
Oh, okay,
out,
that's
like,
fine.
if this is the
And
one
then-
that we need more than one.
Okay.
But I would suspect that, I think
If
it's just one.
Okay.
Because the worst case scenario, we appoint her to the one that just requires one, and then we just
Do
reappoint
it.
her right away.
Okay.
So. it's-
I won't. I'm not available next week, so hopefully it's just one. I'll be
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
state.
yeah. So that's what we'll plan on doing. So whatever one is the easiest, breeziest one to do.
Yeah.
Because the worst case scenario is that, even if it's one that expires in June, we just reappoint you for another 3 years. So, yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Awesome.
I already know where you're looking. No, I don't.
Flip over the town thing.
I know, I'm kind of scaring people now. Like, really? I'm so
Isn't that your
excited.
job? I mean,
No.
All right.
Yes.
So the next item on the agenda, I'll ask if we can table again. It's review and amend the liaison list, but since we're hopefully expanding our board imminently, we'll wait on reassigning our liaisonships for the upcoming budget cycle. We have Scott at 7:30 to discuss the new flooring in town hall.
Could I just ask you a really quick question? Do we have anybody else, any other talent? No? Okay, all right, thank you.
None that we're eligible to serve on a town committee.
Okay, all right, thank you.
how are you eligible to serve? How are you not eligible to
To
serve?
be a registered voter
And a resident.
and a resident.
Oh, well, that makes,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Yeah,
okay, awesome.
that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no educational or occupational qualifications.
Yeah.
It's just
No,
Yeah, we love
figured that.
people who have gone to town meeting a number of times, but
Yeah.
that's not even a requirement. But we know that you'll be there every year anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Scott. You've been on. You've been.
it's gonna take that.
Yeah. I don't really know. Yeah, so I'm here about flooring in the hall. We met last week. Got 3 different quotes. They all have similar products, but they have different warranties. So I'm proposing to go with the one that's actually middle price for the best warranty. But it's kind of come out to, I had figured about $11,000 to do the 2 hallways down to the double doors. But the selectmen have suggested to also include that vestibule beyond the double doors, which makes perfect sense on both ends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we get a lot of foot traffic for the veterans agent.
Are there any, what is the term for what the floor replacement was falling under? Was it imminent need,
It was a reserve. We were looking at reserve fund because it was unexpected.
unexpected? So does that have any issue if we expand the scope beyond what hasn't been pulled
No,
out?
because we want to just make sure that it's all the same and it's all the same age. You know, when we talk about going, and I don't think you got a price for this, but at some point, I think it's important to put in the capital plan the second floor, but that's not an unforeseen. This downstairs is, we need to get it done. Yeah.
Well, that's fine. I just worry that the carpet that's pulled up is obviously unforeseen, but is there any hurdle for doing the additional because it's
I
not?
don't think so, because the price for that little section, it was so minimum that even if you wanted to technically take that portion out, we could cover it with your budget, your regular maintenance budget. Even if we just took, you know, in front of where, remember you
Right.
guys were talking
Yeah.
about this?
And the only reason that carpet remains is because that's where I stopped peeling it up.
Yeah,
I could have very simply just do the whole hallway, but I was trying to do as little as I could.
because it was
But it does make sense to continue all the way through. You have one less, transition, and you'd have one little spot of cover on the first floor.
And that's
Doesn't
really
make a lot of
where some people, like if you think about the holidays of Halifax, or people are coming in and out of that. So we kind of want to keep it consistent. But like I said, I'm putting a plug in that we might have a request to go, not to make the list, but at least have a request that we can wait it for next year for the capital plan.
Being
For
upstairs.
the upstairs, yeah.
So Scott, when you talk about the 3 different warranties, can you just give us a breakdown of, you said you're going for the middle priced option, but is that the one with a 30-year warranty on it?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, 30-year commercial warranty.
Okay,
A lot of the other ones are 10-year warranty,
okay.
but just limited what you can do with them. Some you can wax, some you can't, this and that.
Mhm.
The one with the 30-year commercial, you can do anything you want to it. So we can layer it with wax, that'll seal the seams. Something like this happens again, we can sanitize it, and that's, we don't have to start over again from zero.
Yeah. So okay.
You were talking about a carpet running though over it?
Correct. Yep,
Okay.
yep.
And that's included in the
That's
price?
not included, that's gonna come out of my budget, because we're gonna be
Okay.
replacing some anyway. So I
Okay.
kinda figured I'd take that.
Even with the
burden on.
addition on down the other hallway? That's
Correct,
coming
well, the
out of
11,000
budget.
covers both hallways,
Right,
the front foyer, both hallways. It doesn't include I couldn't get them to come back and price the two little foyers at the ends. So I'm just adding, say like $3,000, so that'd make it 14. So,
And he'll do the carpet within his operational budget.
right, I'll do the runners.
So I missed last week's meeting. Can I
Mhm.
take a look at that for a
Absolutely,
crash course?
I kind of made notes on some of them, I think it's at the bottom, the warranties and whatnot.
And did you say last time too, Scott, that the differential between recarpeting everything versus doing this laminate is actually not that big?
It really wasn't. I think it was like within $2,000 difference. You know, 2,000 more to do the vinyl.
Yeah. But then the difference is that this is now considered like an impermeable surface, and then it has to be sanitized or do whatever to it we can, as opposed to carpeting, which.
Correct. Yeah.
Can I ask
Even,
a question?
Sure.
Is it vinyl or is it laminate? Because
it's a vinyl floor.
it's vinyl.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's commercial grade. It's like what's in the
Yeah.
cafeteria, which, I don't know if you've seen.
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah. It's actually the exact same product.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who is it made by? Do you know?
It's called New Floor, and the line is called Indestructible.
Is this a composite? LVT?
LVT, it's a laminate vinyl floor.
Okay.
So it's different layers of vinyl. So you get the top layer is the color and pretty.
And is that a substructure and then the carpet goes on top, or is that?
No, there's no carpet at all. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna put down 1/4 inch Luan plywood to get the floor all clean. Nail and screw that down, and then put the glue vinyl on top.
I thought vinyl went out in the 70s.
Oh, it's back.
Coming back.
Is it coming back?
I did my bathroom in the two.
Actually,
It's
I
like
didn't
2
see
layers of vinyl.
Okay.
We didn't have these.
It's like wood.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's Brazilian.
Vinyl is
Really
vinyl, as
Brazilian.
Mark Roy will say.
Scott, did you bring reserve fund transfer request?
Thank you.
I had a switch one up for you.
You actually gave me one.
Did I?
You gave me one yourself, and I didn't bring it. That's how I am.
You're doing your reminder.
Well, you're close.
So Charlie will just text me.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Well, at least pull
Yeah, pull it up.
You just pull it
Yeah, we'll handwrite it.
Thank you, sweetheart.
And then
Which one of these
who's
is
gonna
11?
keep track of your reserve
Pardon?
folder? Do you
Which
guys
one of
know where
these is
that is?
11,000?
Okay,
None of them.
so somebody's gonna have.
There's a couple of them that add up.
This one here.
You might wanna
think it's
reach out
this
to
one.
see where your reserve folder is.
37.
It's
Oh, it's
all
this
in
one here.
cabinet.
10 change.
Okay,
This one here.
all right,
And
It's
I
three
will make
pages.
sure.
okay,
And I keep track of them.
Second hall.
anyways, So,
thank you.
So 3,700.
Yeah.
And Sandy, what's our, do you happen to know what our reserve fund balance is?
it
Starting off?
starts at
So it
25,000.
was, so
And I don't think that you've done the reserve,
3750.
this is the beginning.
No, this is the
that.
beginning.
Yeah,
and then there's a little bit
Remind
of
me,
floor
this,
repair to do.
this
so
all
that's why I
happened
went to
after we set the
11,000.
budget, right?
I just looked a little bit fudging there because
yeah.
we've got some soft spots in the
Like
floor.
legit, like right.
Just before you go into
It was
the
like
elevator
every
foyer,
day.
there's a soft spot in the floor. I have to cut that open, I have to get in there and reframe some stuff.
So,
Yeah. I think Sandy's always kept,
Yeah.
And part of this is what,
Sandy, you've always kept that, right, the journal?
no, the secretary normally.
Oh, the
keeps it around,
secretary,
but
okay.
The town accountant also
Thank
you.
keeps her
Call.
own records.
Okay.
In this,
Town account.
so the secretary just keeps it
Oh,
so
okay.
that she always has it to go, oh yeah, we've got this much.
Mhm.
What's the total square footage?
I couldn't tell you.
Something like
I don't
1,100.
have it in front of me.
Yeah.
I've got my old drawings back over there, but I don't have it in my head.
This is right, it looks like it's about 1,100.
That makes sense, right?
That's
Because
coming
it's
up.
like four,
It says 440
yeah.
for the elevator hallway and 676 for the common hallway.
Just for those 2 pages, right?
Yeah, the third page is carpet, which was
Right.
But it's not that much difference with carpet, like,
Yeah.
Right, and
And-
I'm kind of going against the grain.
Mhm.
A lot of people push for carpet tiles because it makes the hallway quieter and this and that. And they say if you have a spill, you can replace one tile. I don't care how you turn them, you know, they do this quarter turn thing. A new tile is a new tile, it
Right.
doesn't matter.
Is there more of a concern with tripping with carpet versus vinyl? Slipping?
No,
The floor's a little
the
wet.
vinyl will be a little bit slippier, more slippery, but we're gonna have the runners down the center, and you can see the wear, and even the traffic pattern on the glue. There's no traffic on the sides, it's all done on the, no walks along the wall,
Okay,
so.
so no need to worry about someone slipping and,
I don't think so,
Dislocating
my
the hip.
opinion, I don't think so.
As long as we make sure we have the same kind of things that we have now, it should be fine.
I think it actually might even decrease the likelihood of people tripping, because if we get the subflooring taken care of and everything's evened out, you're not gonna experience that like dip when you step into the foyer there too.
That's not gonna change much,
Okay,
because they're adding a quarter inch to almost everything.
okay, they're not, okay.
That little slope, they're not going to add a quarter inch, just to try and level it out a little bit.
Okay, yeah,
But
that's what I mean.
It's not gonna change drastically.
Okay. Feel like I'll feel it, as a clumsy person, I'll feel the difference.
Does Kara have
Kylie?
a vote?
She's definitely right-handed.
We're gonna appoint 2 new FinCom members.
I can't believe Anna too, she's already ready.
She's
I
good
see- I
she has
think-
good formation too.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna be ambidextrous, she does both.
Yeah, no, that's real, like the way that she's holding her pencil.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
amazing.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Not like this.
she's gonna be a little artist.
Well, maybe she could be on the finance.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let's just appoint her now, if she knows.
You should remember.
All right, anybody have, does anyone else have any questions or wanna see the,
Thank you.
I know we saw stuff someone saw stuff last week.
We're good.
Okay, so, I know you're filling out the form there, Scott, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the, request, so I know you said it'd be approximately $11,000 for the 2 hallways, but if we kind of estimate to add the vestibules beyond each set of the doors, we're thinking about $14,000 to do the entire project?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so is that the request that you're gonna make from reserve fund is, a $14,000 expenditure?
Correct.
Okay. Do we need, Charlie or Sandy, do we need to, have any other information besides that? I know while Scott's filling out the form, I know we're gonna have to sign it and stuff, but do we need anything else to hold the vote while he's doing the paperwork? Okay. No other questions, sounds like, I'll entertain a motion to, transfer from reserve fund the sum of $14,000 for the purposes of, new flooring in the first floor of town hall. Does anyone make a motion?
I'll make a motion to transfer the 14,000.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? We have a motion and a second.
Do we need to do anything to vote on the particular bid, or is that just part of the transfer?
No, Scott is putting his best bid forward, which is, he feels
Thank
the
you.
mid price at the longer warranty.
Okay.
So you just are voting on that.
Any other questions? Comments, concerns? All right, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
I'll abstain.
All right, so 3 in favor. Yep.
Yeah, I know it's needed, except I wasn't here last week to get as many details. Had I been here, I probably would have supported it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So 3 in favor, 1 abstention.
Could I just ask that if for some reason the vestibules come back way over the assumed amount, just to let us know?
Sure. Absolutely, yep. Do I hand this to you? or-
We can't be
Should
done
be
if it
3
is, though.
copies. Scott.
Oh, I get photos
Because it
of
would
you
be
then?
more.
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
just worry
Okay.
about the
Scott,
scope,
what I can do is this.
because I don't want somebody saying that we slid the entire downstairs into the scope,
Yeah.
because it was an emergent need
That way-
for him to need the rest of it.
If it's
That's all I
over,
worry
we'll do it
about.
within this budget, like I
Okay.
said, yeah.
Okay.
I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
not procedural, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's just what. Yeah.
Alright, so we can take care of the paperwork when Scott gets back. So the next thing right now is discussing the schedule. So it looks like we won't have, this is kind of an off meeting for us. We normally would be the first Monday of the month. The second meeting of the month, so the 8th is a holiday. We don't meet on the 8th. The 15th, we had scheduled, but it sounds like we won't have quorum. Right, I think Bill and maybe one other person couldn't be here on the 15th.
Well, we may.
I cannot be here on the 15th. It's my daughter's birthday party.
Okay, so no.
Yeah. So then that would make,
You can make it on the 15th?
I can, yes.
I might be able to make it on the 15th.
Yeah, I
I've got
can make it
an,
on the 15th.
I've got an eye appointment, I just don't know what time.
okay.
I'll figure that out.
I know I can, so yes, yes, yes.
We had you on the 22nd.
And-
That was,
That was the next meeting was gonna be the
was gonna be
22nd.
the
Yeah.
22nd.
Okay.
So we're gonna skip the 15th.
Oh, that's right. We
Yeah,
we
Because
popped
it's
the
usually
first
the
in.
second and the fourth, and the
Yeah.
fourth was the 22nd.
Yeah,
Okay.
Then you guys make it on the 20th.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, yeah, we don't need
Yeah.
the 15th for anything unless
Yeah.
you all see anything imminent coming up. Okay, so then let's just keep the 22nd. 22nd is good,
Yeah.
good,
Good.
good, good. Okay, so the next scheduled meeting will be on Monday, October 22nd. And then we'll probably, then we'll do the 29th, and then we'll,
And the second and fourth would be November 12th and November 26th.
okay. Those dates sound like they work for everyone. I know it's a little bit far out, but.
The 26th might be tight, I might be out of state the end of November, beginning of December.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have
That's
a
cool.
quorum.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and we'll post for those. It sounds like we're probably able to make quorum, but I appreciate everyone being really responsive and stuff. I know sometimes we're trying to move around a lot of moving parts, especially when we're at
Is
Barrett
my
Forum,
phone
but everyone's been
It's just
awesome
a-
about that, so thank
Just a
you.
fireworks, yeah.
It's called fireworks, huh?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay.
Isn't that cool?
Public participation?
It's blue, green.
Anybody?
Are you gonna go over applications? for
Yeah, we were gonna do that last. Because we weren't sure, and this is a procedural question, we weren't sure if we were gonna discuss actual folks' resumes, if we were gonna have to go into executive session.
No, at this point, no.
Okay.
The meeting, November 3rd, is that already passed for sign up?
No, I haven't signed up for that yet. Oh,
Okay.
and so that's a good point while we're waiting for Scott. The Association of Town Finance Committees is having its annual meeting on Saturday, November 3rd. I'm gonna be going. If anyone else wants to go,
What do you need to know by is why I ask.
if you want to seek reimbursement, then we can sort of register whenever we want and then just seek reimbursement from here.
Yeah, you can pay that day too when you get there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we
you
can
get
vote on
you
it
can.
as a committee whether or not we want to
No, I
reimburse
just
those
noticed I used to do
expenses.
it in the morning. I used to take the payments.
Yes, and Kim's rules have ruled forever.
No, I was president of the Mass Finance Committee, actually. Yeah, no, they still do, I know the MMA does that.
So if you register online and you pay for yourself online, then what we need is a copy of your registration form showing that it's been
Do you
paid.
know the registration cutoff date, just because it's so hard for me to
I'm
know
gonna
that far in
tell you that
advance?
you can go that day, and
Okay.
I know this, Charlie, I swear.
If
No,
you
because
go
I used to be on
that
the
day-
board for them, and I used to take the payments as people came in.
Okay.
Yeah,
So where is it?
I'm not seeing anything about, please know, payment is required before the
It
meeting
was
or the day
Dennis.
of.
Or the day of, yeah.
So
Okay.
if you pay the day of,
I thought you
ask
would
for a receipt.
Yep.
From
That
9
can
to
be
3.
then turned in and will be reimbursed.
Okay.
I didn't know if this was
Yep,
a
that's
new
fine.
right below this line.
It's
So
45.
it's that way and I did it. So I know. I'm gonna fill these up.
I'd like to go.
That's okay.
It's just hard.
This is just like we fill out during the meeting, so
Okay.
That's what?
either
I
one's
was
fine.
supposed to teach a workshop there.
Yeah, I'll take these in that way. It's all in the same handwriting.
Huh?
So you were mentioning,
Huh?
is this the November 3rd thing
Yeah,
you're talking about? Okay.
yeah, well, my son's is a senior in high school and then I
Yeah,
can
these
play
are Devon's.
one.
This is Devon's.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's my last one. So. Yeah, I know.
Kim, where is Devon's? I've never even heard of
Up
Devon's.
by Harvard, Devon's is an artificial community, we remember Fort Devon's?
Fort Devens.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So Devon's
all
crosses
right.
town boundaries, but there's just like the,
Weymouth, the Navy Yard in Weymouth.
Oh, all right.
But Weymouth is a real community.
Yeah,
No, but the development spans across town lines, in the same school.
Okay.
Air, Harvard, I think there's a third community.
But they were trying to
Hanscom.
form
I used to work at Hanscom.
So if anyone else is interested, what I'll do is I'll email the group again because I'm going to do the sign up. I'll definitely register if folks want to carpool, we can. That's November 3rd, and we'll also post any other upcoming potential trainings or anything like that, either from Mass Municipal Association or from the Department of Revenue Services for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Thank you.
So the last thing we have tonight on the agenda is to discuss the applicants for the administrative assistant position to the committee. Last week at the meeting, even though we weren't at quorum, we still conducted the interview just because we had folks on the way. So we wanted to make sure to meet all the candidates. I think everyone would probably agree with me that we have 3 eminently qualified candidates, and we can't make a bad decision. Everyone was wonderful to talk to, has great experiences and backgrounds, and we're in an incredibly fortunate position to have 3 amazing applicants and to see hopefully if one of them is interested.
Do I sign if I abstain?
So question, Charlie, if Bill abstained from the vote on the reserve fund transfer, does he sign or not sign the?
No, it doesn't.
It has 4 as voting. Does that matter?
No, a couple of years ago, the finance committee passed a motion that said it took a majority of the members present to pass, or the number of members we had.
No, I just mean that the paper actually says 4 voting, but there are 3 signatures.
there's 4 present.
Yeah.
You can write a note if you want, saying what it's.
I think it was to Charlie or Sandy. So we have Kathleen Clark was the first applicant that we met. Darlene Solari was the second applicant that we met, and Nashira Maniz was the third applicant we met. And Bill's got copies of the resumes as well. I know the rest of the committee saw resumes last weekend. Got to chat with the applicants.
Hey, smile man. Look me.
Does anyone have any impressions based on, we can sort of,
I feel like one of the applicants thought it was more than a few hours, 5 hours a week. So she was looking for more of a part-time, 20-something hour position. I believe it was the second one.
yeah, so it's, this is a 5-hour-week position. So one of the concerns we tried to kind of clarify in the discussions was to ensure that the applicants recognize that it was part-time. So I don't know if anyone else had, like I said, I think we kind of agreed
I
there were
think the
3.
first applicant had better understanding of the job description and knew exactly what it was all about.
Who was the first applicant?
Kathy Clark.
Okay. And the second?
The second
Darlene
person we saw,
Solari.
yeah.
Yeah,
So these are in
yeah.
order?
Yeah.
She was looking for more of a permanent 20-something hour position, I believe. That's the impression.
Well, that was the impression. It wasn't stated that way.
Yeah. And the third applicant, I think,
Lived in Halifax. I think there was some.
yeah,
Oh, we were concerned
Kathy
maybe
Cynthia.
about the,
look at all your
about the timing, being able to come back for the Monday night meeting, I think for the third
Yeah,
applicant, that was the only thing.
There's job
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true too.
Like I said, 3 awesome applicants.
Yeah, they're all very good. I thought Kathy was not the better applicant, but had a better understanding of the position, was willing to take it for 5 hours a week.
Any
I have no questions here.
questions from us or?
No, I mean, here again, I wasn't here last week, so don't want to take everyone's time to rehash what was there. So, you guys can decide. I'll be moral support.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion on any of whatever applicant the committee would like to recommend for hire.
I'll make a motion to offer the position to Kathy Clark.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Do you have any other discussion, questions? Okay, all those in favor of, offering the, admin assistant position to Kathleen Clark? Aye.
Abstain.
So we have 3 ayes and 1 abstention. Charlie, do you need anything official from us in terms of our vote or recommendation?
Really would want a letter, I mean, if nothing else, whether it's Sandy or the treasurer's office and such, an appointment letter, you know, the one that you get in the personnel file, if nothing else.
Okay. Can I,
And then, you know, and we can provide the treasurer's office with the contact information, they can kind of contact this person, so that the
Okay.
payroll forms and all that jazz get done.
okay, so can I,
So do you want to give her a call and
sure,
let her know
Okay.
that, you know, make sure that she's willing to take the decision?
okay,
And then tell her she can come into town hall. And what we'll do, Charlie and I'll work on an offer letter. She could come down to Charlie's office first, pick up the offer letter, and then go see the treasurer to fill out the appropriate paperwork.
okay. So I can just give her a call, offer, see if she's still interested, and then direct her to town hall and have her come in and meet with the 2 of you during business hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. I will take care of that tomorrow. I think that was, yep, that was everything that we had on the agenda for tonight. Forms are all set. Right. So then we'll keep our next scheduled meeting on October 22nd, Monday night. And I will, if I can reach that.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm used to that.
We'll find out about the meeting at the Board of Selectmen, or find out the, who has to be in attendance at the Board of Selectmen meeting on 10/9 to vote on Adrian's appointment.
Charlie, when you out of the room, I said, I know that Bill's traveling, and he may not be able to be there, but perhaps we could pick one of the terms that would just require 1 vote from the finance.
Sure.
And then that way, you know, we can always rejoin. So let's plan on that.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Do you want to make
Yeah, I'll make
Is
a
there-
motion. Oops.
Is there a selectmen's meeting on the 15th? Or
No, the 9th,
The 9th. We
It's-
kind-
it's
yeah,
every
that
other week?
We have already, yeah.
9th and the
If I have
23rd are the
documents,
next
yeah.
meetings.
okay.
But that's okay, because even if we just pick one that
Okay.
expires in June, we'll just reappoint her for the 3 years.
Yeah. Okay.
And we have her address. It should not make people afraid to apply.
That wasn't very convincing.
No, it's a little evil.
It was.
Yeah, a
wasn't
little
it?
evil, yeah.
It's like the medals.
It must work, I'm sitting here, so.
Like, we all are.
He walked in here on his own free will.
Alright, I think it's you, Diane's motion.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
We have a motion
second.
to adjourn in a
7:55.
second. All those in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
We're adjourning at 7:52 p.m. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming.
Thank you again.